Oh, my goodness. All right, but wait a minute. I'm bringing this up here, and I got to turn myself around because you can't see me. There's no show if you can't see. I'm going to just bring me up. Save that. I'll do like this. Bring me up like that, and I think I could turn myself around. No, I can't. Yeah, I can. Let me see. That's going to make me come around. Let's see. Pull that like that. There I go. There I am, live in the color. Mr. Mayor, you're back up here. We were talking about traveling, and we're going to get to your stuff here because I know you got a bunch of stuff you want to talk about. Some stuff I got to talk with you about. But the fact that those of us who are older are spending a little bit more discretionary money and thinking more about it than we used to in the past. And the spending has gone up to $7,200, up from $6,800. So we're spending more, but we're more concerned about where we're spending. And I'm sure that could be the case for you as well. Bring both of us on the screen when we're talking about this here. The bottom line, travelers over 50, spending more, but increasingly they want comfort. They want convenience and value for their money. I don't think that's really changed. No. I think we've always been that way.
Absolutely.
Now, are you one of these guys that plan an itinerary when you go out and we're going to go down to the beach, we're going to go to Broadway at the beach, we're going to do this at this time, we're going to eat so-and-so?
No. Kind of on the fly. Now, there may be one particular venue that attracts me to the area, but, traveling is my... I don't want to call it a vice, but that's what I do for relaxation. It gives you an opportunity to see what's going on in other places. I oftentimes run into ideas, and when you're moving around, you're always thinking about what things you like to see in your community. So get a lot of ideas from that.
All right, that's a good transition to the fact that the mayor's here. You come here every Thursday and bring us up to date with some of your travel and escapades. Did you go somewhere? You went somewhere recently.
Yeah, I called in last Thursday from Massachusetts. I was at a mayor's conference up in Massachusetts.
And you told us about some of the things. Why did you go up there?
Yeah, so basically it was called Innovative Cities, and it was a very small group. I'm a member of the ALMA, or African American Mayors Association, just like I am the U.S. Conference of Mayors. And oftentimes they will select certain ones to come to these small gatherings, and I was chosen on the panel for that particular meeting was Mayor Brandon Scott from Baltimore. In fact, I'll have him on. I'll be on with him on WIDU here in a little bit. Mayor Johnson from Chicago, Randall Woodfin from Birmingham, and they were able to kind of talk about some of the things that they're experiencing in their cities. Baltimore, Chicago, of course, are larger communities, larger cities, and have different challenges, but some are the same. Birmingham is more aligned with us. They have about 250,000 people, but they have a larger metro area. And so talking to Randall and some of the things that they've been doing. Innovation is all about where cities are headed. I think oftentimes we get caught, what was really enforced to us was that wherever the world ends up or the country finally goes with the politics behind data centers, the transfer of data is never going to change. And it said communities that understand that, Gilbert, all of these gadgets that you're moving over here, they're basically plastic until data connects to this plastic rectangular thing is called your iPad. Until that cell phone gets data, it doesn't really become active. And so it talked about communities need to prepare for that. They need to make sure your workforce is prepared. I did the community state of the community and was able to talk about some of those things. What happens when a subdivision goes from being built with hammers and nails to 3D printers? It's happening in Austin, Texas. How does that impact our workforce? How does it impact our workforce when forklifts are driverless? They're already on the ground and being tested. So if Amazon says that, hey, we don't need it, 1,200 people, we'll get driverless equipment, and that may go down to 600. What happens to the other 600 people in your community? So those are the kind of things we talked about.
And it's amazing that you mentioned that because it is a reality. It's happening, and that box, that Pandora box is open. And so we're not going to close it back and say, no, we don't want the technology. I mean, I use it all the time. I use it every morning when I'm doing news reports and doing pictures and updating pictures. I was just telling Vic about doing pictures for my brother who passed away. And those old pictures, as you mentioned, there's nothing I can do with it until I put it in here. Yeah. I've got it in my phone. But until I throw it out there to AI land,
Right.
and AI land is somewhere, if you remember when we started talking about the cloud, we're going to put it in the cloud.
Right.
She said, what's the,
Right.
where is
the
it?
cloud? Yeah.
It's just up in the, it's not up there, it's down here somewhere.
right.
But we get the point of what it is. And the storage of data is just amazing. Starting to get a lot of backlash on the flock cameras and stuff, for example, and how that's information it may be misused. We have them around the city.
Yeah. We have our license plate readers. Flock is a brand, and it is becoming a part of this whole movement or discussion. Anything can be abused. What I do know is that, and we'll get into Chief Bryant's report about where our community is on crime. We've made significant progress. Homicides are down nearly 50%. Rapes are down 30%. Juvenile crime is down, in double digits and high double digits. And so what I will say is that anything can be abused. Oftentimes people politicize certain things. Some are rightful concerns, that they have in terms of their privacy being impacted. But for the most part, I trust the leadership over there. I trust Chief Bryant to do the right thing, and the men and women of the Fayetteville Police Department. And there's accountability in place if they don't. And so, there's a lot that America's going through right now. But not to move off of the not talking about data centers, but the conversation we had about innovative cities. Just as many opportunities will be lost, you have opportunities that will be gained. And what they're saying is that you have to have your community ready to do it. There's an incredible amount of opportunity if we start getting our kids and our young people in our high schools and even retraining adults of how to build the programs, how to fix and repair these automated machines. There's going to be a huge demand for those kind of things. Gilbert, when I'm sure when the television came out, they said that would be the end of radio, and look at how it's continued to grow and expand and create other opportunities.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because my father was a radio and television repairman back in the 1950s when TVs were just coming out.
Right.
And so he was a smart guy.
Right.
He produced some smart offspring.
Yeah.
That's where we're going with it.
My dad was not a dummy, Anyway, look, Mitch, it's good to have you here. Bring your phone up, go for Facebook Live. Is it buzzing or something?
No.
Yeah, we're
Getting some of my notes.
Yeah, get your notes out. You're going to need them when we come back. I'll tell you that right now. You're listening to the Talk 640. Right now it's 7:22. We got Mayor Mitch Colvin in here. We're going to come back to him in just a second. But we've got Fayetteville's most dependable forecast with CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Our Thursday will have a blend of sunshine and cloud cover, with thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon and continuing through the evening with a high temperature of 88. Tonight, we'll have scattered thunderstorms come to an end with a low of 73, and Friday will be mostly cloudy with rain and storms, especially in the afternoon, with a high of 88. The approaching cold front will stall out on Saturday, which will keep the chance for a few showers around. We'll start to dry out on Sunday, and we really heat up into early next week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Rachel, we're holding steady right now, 72 degrees at Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and Fort Bragg. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155. 800-896-8155.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Bass Air Conditioning, the name you trust for heating and air.
If your HVAC or plumbing isn't doing its job, why DIY when you've got a guy? For a limited time, get $75 off repair or service, plus great rebates and low monthly payment options on new HVAC systems and water heaters. We also have free estimates, second opinions, and fast installs too. Visit us online at bass-air.com.
Bass Air Conditioning, we're your comfort guys.
This is Carrie Sutton, past Cumberland County Board of Education member and chairman. I'm proud to endorse Charles Evans for Cumberland County Commissioner at Large. Charles understands the needs of Cumberland County. He has a heart for fairness and opportunities for everyone. He has shown real commitment to equitable reasoning budgeting, strong public service, and honest leadership. Cumberland County, join me on Election Day to vote for Charles Evans, Commissioner at Large.
This is Charles Evans, and I approve this message. Paid for by the committee to elect Charles Evans.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ziprecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Good morning, Fayetteville with Gilbert Bays. On WFNZ, News Talk 640 AM and now at 103.5 HD2. Your information crossroads, WFNZ.
News Talk 640 WFNZ. You got one beat on that music.
Just one.
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, you're laughing right now, but we want you to be seen in all 195 countries around the world.
Yes, sir.
If we have an issue with music and some copyright stuff, you're banned in 14 countries.
Well, don't get me banned, man.
No,
I travel.
Shoot. I
don't want you banned.
We'll do a story about it. Mayor is banned in 14 countries. And that'll be the headline. And no one say, wow, Mitch, what did Mitch do now?
Right.
Banned in 14 countries. That'll be all the headline. That's what we'll do.
It's terrible.
Well, Mr. Mayor comes in every Thursday and you talk about things of interest. During the break, we mentioned that the city's moved forward with plans to tear down Station 4 and bring it back and build a new one. Tell us where we are on that.
Yeah, so of course, it's been a long journey with that. We are still moving forward with the litigation pathway, but we had clearance from the legal department to now go ahead and get this fire station repaired and rebuilt. So it'll tear down the existing. We couldn't do it in good conscience to rebuild that and put our firefighters and those who protect us in any kind of danger. So the structural engineer said it was best to start from scratch. That's what we're doing. The goal is to recoup that. At the conclusion of the litigation, there's a bonding company involved, Travelers Insurance, the surety company, as well as with the contract. And I better stop there before the city attorney kills me. But I don't want to talk too much because it's pending litigation.
Well, okay, but the litigation aside, the fact is we are moving forward here. And but people have to understand it's a process. That building's been sitting there for some time. And every time I go up and down Bragg Boulevard, I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at my watch saying when we're going to make a move on it. And so the ball is starting to roll. Is there a projected end date to this when we will have a new facility?
I know that the first phase is the tear down and site prep. I think that
this fall is what the story.
Yeah, we'll start that right away. The city council authorized that the other day. My understanding is that 30 to 60 days they'll get that done, and then first of the year we should be back on starting the rebuild process, which may be toward the end of next year.
All right, let's move on to another thing here on the Downtown Convention Center. You had a city council meeting. Where are we on that?
Well, what we did, it wasn't the meeting I had yesterday was just a stakeholders meeting. You want to make sure that you bring all partners to the table, and so I had a great conversation yesterday with FTCC, with Distinctly Fayetteville. The county was there. Fayetteville State was represented. We have the second half of that later today, just to talk about the needs that they have. Fayetteville Tech is a huge driver, a major player in our community, one of the largest community college systems. And Dr. Searles talked about the fact that once any of his gatherings get beyond 200, that he's restricted. And so I think the only other place in the Sandhills that has any large-scale capacity to host things is in Wilmington. And so that showed that the data that our staff pulled internally is about 1.1 million people within a 50-mile radius that need or could be potential clients for this. And so it was very interesting to talk to. And then former Mayor Robertson was there from the chamber, talk about the business communities aspect, talk about the economic opportunities that exist when you bring people in our community, hosting things like the National League of City. Miss Michelle from Distinctly Fayetteville talked about in 2006, which was the last time we hosted a National League of Cities or North Carolina League of Municipalities conference. We haven't had it in 21 years, but she talked about the boom and the impact that it was, but they were scattered from place to place. They even had to transfer food from one place to another.
Why didn't they come back?
Well,
it was a bad experience.
Because again, it was scattered, so they didn't have enough of a meeting space for one. And then where the meeting space was, I guess, let's say if you took the Crown, there was no hotel support, no restaurant support, and then they ended up making it work at the Holiday Inn on 53 back then. But she said that it was a lot of people here. Thousands of people came behind it, and they tried to make it work.
Okay, that's.
So we're moving forward. Is the long story short.
Right. Well, we'll stay on that because you come here every week and we'll get the we'll get the updates on it. Now you're a graduate of Fayetteville State University. You got to be proud with what the chancellor's done already. They had a groundbreaking or ribbon cutting on the new education school. You were there for that, weren't you?
No, I was in Massachusetts.
Okay. But you've heard about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Kirk Deviere said he was there, and what continues to happen on the Merck, as we know it, affectionately know it, on Murchison Road, is just amazing. And a lot of it centers around the campus of Fayetteville State University. Your thoughts about the new school there?
Yeah, I mean, Chancellor's doing a marvelous job. I mean, you see the $200 million capital investment over the last 5 years, and Fayetteville State has expanded its footprint. I was driving my mother with me the other day, bringing her into the office, and we went down Langdon Street. And she said, "I haven't been down here in a while. Where did these buildings come from?" And so it's a huge change to the scenery there. Chancellor's doing a great job. When he first got there, he said he wanted to be more of deeds, not words, and so he's expanded their footprint. The city is moving to make its investments in and around there, but they've been a tremendous partner, and congratulations to him and the university because they're driving up enrollment. The main thing is they got a $10 million grant the other day from the Department of War for research, which is huge for us as we try to build out our cyber technology and defense spaces. And so Fayetteville State is really moving forward, and he covered a lot of that at the State of the Community the other day.
I'm looking on my phone right now because I prepared a story this morning, and I didn't, for some reason I didn't print it, but there is a projection that a lot of colleges are, small colleges, private colleges are going to shut down because of the fiscal finance problem that they're facing with the lack of international students being able to come, and they don't have heavy endowments and everything like that. Fortunately for us, and I did some research. The story I saw was from a station in Ohio, and I did some research to find out about North Carolina. We're in pretty good stead in terms of how our private institutions are doing, Methodist University and a few others. No one's on the verge of closing here. But we're starting to see that. And then when you see the HBCUs and the issues some of them are having across the country, Fayetteville State really stands out as one that's really moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. The General Assembly has been very good to giving resources to Fayetteville State. It helps a lot when you're a part of the UNC school system, in opposed to an independent private school like St. Aug or Shaw. It's been tough times for them. But Fayetteville State is also was a part of that the incentive program to where you can go to college for $500 and the state would supplement the rest of your tuition. So that's played a huge role into the boom in enrollment. And the chancellor's been very creative with attracting more veterans. I think it has one of the largest, if not the largest, veteran student population in the state. And so all of those things working together for us. We're putting out some good graduates over there. He's retooling and reshaping the graduate and the curriculums to move more into cyber and some of those things that are those jobs of the future that we talked about.
Yeah, and we got Shake Shaft just came in. We'll just show you a little bit. You're seen on the aerial. Okay, now you're not seen. We'll get to you in a second. I found that story. Private colleges across the country facing financial pressure. Some may close in 10 years. And I did the research and focused it on North Carolina. North Carolina has 35 independent colleges and universities, including several in our region. We're talking about Duke and all those as well. The one that really has the biggest or most likely to close, I think, is St. Aug. And you've mentioned the financial problems that they've had. So we wish them well as they try to figure it out. And it's a tough thing to negotiate and navigate over the course of the lifetime of a university and where you are now, especially if you don't have a heavy endowment.
Right.
So some of the schools that I saw said, hey, we've been able to take out 5% of our endowment to keep things moving, which is not, devastating to their financial situation, but schools that don't have that money are facing a crisis. All right, I'm not giving you the boot yet. Because,
looks like you're polishing it up.
Yeah, I'm getting close here, but I just want to make sure that you have an opportunity to. There was another thing on your list that you had, or did we cover it?
I think we covered a lot of ground. So look forward to checking in back with you next week. We've got the governor's highway safety program here today. They're kicking off Booze It or Lose It. My brother's been real instrumental in getting Fayetteville included in that, and so we look forward to that. That's at 10 a.m. at ASOM, so if you're able to join us for the statewide kickoff.
All right, Mayor Mitch Colvin, we
it's
appreciate
the boot time
you.
Now.
Yeah, it's the boot time. Tell your brother I said he's been, as a matter of fact, he sent me information about that.
Yeah.
And I sent him back. I already got this on my page. Thank you, sir. Who are you talking to here? Who are you going to call? What do you think? Sending me some stuff late? All right, that's okay. All right, I love the aerial of him. The mayor getting up, leaving, getting the boot. Getting the boot here. Shake Shaft's going to be up here next. Right now we've got local news from CBS 17.
Good morning, I'm Greg Funderburg from the CBS 17 newsroom. Labor Day is a little more than a week away, but law enforcement officers are prepared to keep the roads safe. The North Carolina governor's highway safety program is launching their annual Labor Day Booze It and Lose It campaign. You will see an increase in patrols and checkpoints statewide. Governor Josh Stein is looking to delay the implementation of new state election rules ahead of today's Rules Review Commission vote for final approval. The governor is seeking legislative review of the 3 new rules, which could take effect just 3 days before absentee ballots start going out for the midterm elections. One rule changes how election officials handle problems with absentee ballots. The other 2 deal with voter ID exceptions. One of the biggest changes is how county election boards can reject exceptions. Stein's letter alone won't trigger legislative review. According to the state's Office of Administrative Hearings, 10 qualifying letters of objection are needed. This afternoon, the state's Child Fatality Task Force is set to meet. It is a group dedicated to protecting the well-being of children. North Carolina ranked 12 in the nation for the highest childhood fatality rate in 2024. The top 3 leading causes of death for kids in the state are car crashes, other accidents, and homicide. The meeting starts at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Department of Health in Raleigh. From the CBS 17 newsroom, I'm Greg Funderburg.
Our Thursday will have a blend of sunshine and cloud cover, with thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon and continuing through the evening with a high temperature of 88. Tonight we'll have scattered thunderstorms come to an end with a low of 73, and Friday will be mostly cloudy with rain and storms, especially in the afternoon, with a high of 88. The approaching cold front will stall out on Saturday, which will keep the chance for a few showers around. We'll start to dry out on Sunday, and we really heat up into early next week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunzing.
Okay, Rachel, right now we've got 73 degrees in Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and also at Fort Bragg. You're listening to News Talk 640 with WFNC.
This report is sponsored by United States Department of Veterans Affairs.